is your news bulletin from Power 102 Digital.
It is Friday, the 6th of September, 2024. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. This is News to 6 a.m. on News Power Digital. We begin with the sad news that tributes poured in from the world of music and culture as veteran musician, band leader, and saxophonist Roy Cape has died. He'd also been battling prostate cancer for years. Cape underwent surgery at the Sangre Grande Hospital after falling off a pavement and injuring his hip in 2019. His musical career spanned 6 decades, leading the band the Roy Cape All-Stars for more than 50 years. He boasted discovering and nurturing soca stars Destra Garcia, Dexter Black Stewart, Ricardo Drew, just to name a few. He officially retired in 2017. In 2004, he was the recipient of a national award, the Hummingbird Medal Gold. In 2011, he received an honorary doctorate from the University of the West Indies St. Augustine campus. In a social media post last evening, his daughter Joanne Cape Julian confirmed his passing. The post stated, "It is a very difficult time for the family. Keep us in your prayers, and we can confirm our loving father has passed and transitioned." Former Calypso monarch Kurt Allen posted on Facebook, "Rest in peace, Pappy." Meanwhile, Austin Super Bowl Lions also reacted to the news, saying, "It's a very sad night for me when I hear of the passing of my great and loving friend, Dr. Roy Cape. May he fly in eternal peace." We also pass on our condolences and sympathies and support to Mr. Cape's family and colleagues. It was a night of horror on Naji Road in New Granton Wednesday when siblings Kirvan and Chanel Singh were hacked to death, allegedly at the hands of a resident who'd been terrorizing the neighborhood for many years. The bloodstains on the roadway, the grass, and the porch of the house were evidence of the gruesome double murder of the 21 and 16-year-old, who were no match for the killer with a cutlass. The body of Chanel was found on the road with multiple chop wounds on the left side of her face. Her brother was chopped at his neck and was on the couch, his body on the couch of the porch. Meanwhile, the suspect is now in police custody. He's 23 years old with respect to the double murder. With at least 7 homicides being reported over a 48-hour period, the police leadership is insisting crime is not out of control in Trinidad and Tobago. This as the TTPS calls on citizens to work with law enforcement in reducing and solving crimes. The call made yesterday by Deputy Commissioner of Police Junior Benjamin during a news conference at the Police Administration Building in Port of Spain. Benjamin said data showed over the 5-year period, Port of Spain, Trinidad, Tobago, Eastern Division have shown an increase in killings over a 5-year period. He said officers continue to do what is required to ensure the safety and protection of all citizens. Of those killed in the last 48 hours are Jamal Watts, who was shot dead in the St. James Medical Sciences Complex, siblings Kirvan, Keston Singh, 21, and Chanel, 17. Murders 4, 5, and 6, 3 men, Pascal Celestin, a 36-year-old fisherman of Icacus, Joshua Sadu, 21, of Point Fortin, and a man only known as Daku of Point Fortin. A 7th unidentified man was shot dead in Mount Dore around 6 a.m. yesterday, Thursday. Police are continuing investigations into these murders. Canadian YouTuber and blogger Chris Muslis has been detained by police yet again. An attorney representing Hughes' interests said he was detained shortly after 10 a.m. at a house in Diego Martin and taken by the Special Investigations Unit located off Richmond Street in Port of Spain and was being interrogated. Earlier this year, he was charged with sedition following the release of videos showing men in the country who profess to be gang members. The offense has a maximum sentence of $3,000 fine of 2 years imprisonment. He pleaded not guilty and was granted $100,000 bail. His Canadian passport was seized and he was arrested but given time to allow him to return to Canada with the assurance he would come back to Trinidad to face trial. 2-time Paralympic medalist Akeem Stewart placed second at the 2024 Paralympic Games in the men's discus throw final at the Stade de France in Paris yesterday. His efforts was 59.66 meters. Stewart competed against 7 other participants. The event was won by Jeremy Campbell of the U.S. His throw measured 60.46 meters. Stewart was Trinidad Tobago's lone rep at the Games. In news of the region, St. Vincent Parliament has passed legislation making it illegal to consume alcohol during funeral processions, effective immediately. Opposition leader Godwin Friday, who opposed the bill, was absent during the vote. Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves introduced the Public Order Amendment Bill 2024 and described the legislation as straightforward. And finally, the son of U.S. President Joe Biden, Hunter Biden, has offered to plead guilty in this federal tax evasion case, appearing to surprise and anger federal prosecutors who turned up in court on Thursday prepared to begin his trial. Biden previously denied prosecutors' accusation that he intentionally avoided paying $1.4 million in income tax between 2016 and 2019. Initially, Biden said he wanted to enter what is known as an alpha plea, where he would accept the charges while maintaining his innocence, but prosecutors objected. And that is news to 6 a.m. right here on News Power Digital. We'll have major news coming your way at 7 a.m. Good morning.
Up to date and credible. Power 102 Digital.
Morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us on the Power Breakfast Show on Power 102 Digital. Yep, it is Friday. Friday. Gotta love a Friday. All right. 25 degrees on both islands. It's pretty warm. Yesterday was what? I think the hottest day for the month thus far. I think so. I could be wrong. The matter of it today is saying it's going to be hot and sunny conditions. Will be interrupted. Pretty much what you saw yesterday is what you're going to get today. All right. Traffic-wise, it's a bit sticky. You've got traffic pretty much from Kumuto Road heading to Omera Road. That's a big one. Of course, volume as you go to Twin City by the interchange, Charlieville. Usual stuff. Good morning to you, Paul.
Good morning, Steve. Good morning, everyone.
What's going on? It's Friday.
Condolences to the family, friends, and colleagues of a wonderful individual, Roy Happy, who passed at the age of 82 years old yesterday. And the music fraternity and the culture fraternity and arts fraternity is mourning his passing. He was such a gentle person. Good morning, Wendell.
Morning, Wendell.
Morning, Paul. Good morning, Steve. Morning, Richard. And good morning, all our listeners and viewers. Was he 82, Roy Cape?
That's what the release seems to say.
Okay, nice. All right, beautiful.
He was such a gem. I mean, he's been in here so many times.
Yeah, he's a humble person. Roy Cape's band room was right around the corner from me in St. James for years. I think they're still there, actually. On Church Street in St. James, they occupied one of the buildings owned by now deceased Don Ramdeen, who was also a gem too. You know,
he was one of the recipients of a Lifetime Achievement Award from Power 102.
And key to the city of Port of Spain. So he was at our downtown launch. Thanks for sending those pictures. And Steve, I forgot about them.
Yeah, I have them cherished.
Oh, I look good in those pictures, though.
Well,
I almost like myself all over again.
You were just
those pictures. Maybe Paul could share them. I think I sent them to you, Paul.
I'm not control the drama this morning.
You see, we want him to put it up, but he don't want to put it up. It's too much drama for him.
Because what happens, as I indicated to you, if you want those things done, send them before and say you want them done, so I can process them. If I pull up the program that does that now, it will freeze my entire screen. It takes up a lot of resources.
Program just to show a picture.
It has to be processed in a program.
Okay, well, you're now explaining it, because I thought once I send you something, you
click of a button and it up. Exactly, Wendell, exactly. But yes, condolences to the family.
You all see the bottom of your screen where you see mic, stop cam, settings, present, invite. You can
Yeah.
present stuff in present also if you figure it out. Go and do some
Oh.
homework.
Mm.
So we can do it too. We can actually do it
yes,
from
you
where we are.
can. Yes, you can.
So
We
you had to teach me
can.
how to do that.
Well, let me go and dig up now.
You had to teach me how to do that. Sometimes when I raise an issue, I could just show it on the screen.
You know you don't raise issues very often.
I know that video though that went viral for the young man who saved the driver in that car.
Yeah, so I was getting the good news. So that accident where the car flipped by
But
me.
we can't play that video though.
I didn't see a video, but to the young man, I think his name.
Deshaun Henry. Deshaun? Is it Deshaun?
I
think it's Deshaun. Hold on, I'll get it from Charmaine Post.
Yeah, his name is Deshaun. So good morning to Deshaun. We're starting off with good news. Deshaun, he went and he pulled the occupants out of that car that was on fire yesterday by the market yesterday morning. Yeah, I do. So kudos to you. Let us say kudos as well to Mr. Akeem Stewart, Paralympian Akeem Stewart. He was able to find silver throwing the discus at a length of 59.66 meters.
We have to really congratulate him because it's the only medal that came back from Paris.
Well, he was the only one that went to Paris.
I'm talking about generally.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. And, you know,
he's very consistent.
He's very consistent. So congratulations to Akeem Stewart.
Yeah. I know I saw a feature on him where he was looking for funds and, he's working out from home and this and that. And so kudos to him, Akeem Stewart. And I also want to say kudos. I have to find it, and I will sometime this morning, to a young lady out at a resort, I think in Matura or Toko or something like that. There was someone that was staying at the hotel and went out onto the beach and forgot his camera. Didn't know where his camera was. And she went back into the cameras and realized she got the camera and realized who it belonged to and tracked him down and gave it back to him. So that is good news. There you go, Rena. That is some good news starting off this morning, of course, with the passing of Roy Cape. A lot of people in the Calypso fraternity and, like us, call him Papi. They have real pictures with him.
Yes.
Yeah. So, a condolence.
Well, while it is sad, and it's still certainly sad that he's passed, I think we can actually celebrate his life also.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because he was born and grew up in an orphanage. Taught himself to play the saxophone. Became one of the best saxophonists in the Caribbean. Formed a band called the Roy Cape All Stars 50 years ago, or some years ago. I don't know if the band was from 50 years ago, but he was in music for over 50 years, and became one of the biggest, most prolific mentors of the biggest stars, including Destra, Blacks, Ricardo Drew, and countless other young people who were influenced and mentored and nurtured by him musically. So we can actually celebrate him this morning and just a wonderful, wonderful person.
Yeah,
indeed.
And battled prostate cancer in recent years and was very public with it. Unfortunately, fell in Grandy a couple years ago and injured his hip, and he was recovering from that. But always kept a positive disposition and always had a kind, encouraging word for everybody. So we could actually celebrate him, although he passed today.
Yeah.
A lot of our soca artists worked with Roy Cape, A lot of them he mentored, And I've never heard one, sometimes you hear about band leaders and how they are.
No, not him.
Never heard anything bad about Roy Cape. Never.
Yeah.
About his character, about his attitude.
Destra always speaks in glowing terms about how much he helped her as a young lady, a young woman coming into the industry, and how much he taught her of being in a band and singing live music. So to Blacks, the late Blacks, and the late Ricardo Drew, they were mentored. Carlisle Juiceman Roberts, who was eventually became the musical director of the band, and the band was one of the best bands for years.
For years, yes, true.
For years,
Mm-hmm.
in Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah,
and,
they did the backing for
everybody because they were so musically trained. Everybody,
Yes.
for everybody.
Yes.
And they had a distinct professional
With a
sound.
23-year wood.
Yeah, Marvin and remember Marvin and
Nigel and Marvin.
Nigel and Marvin. Yeah, they all of them.
We'll call up
some
some artists this morning, and
he mentored
talk to them.
and helped to build their career. So we really celebrate him this morning. So
yeah, we have definitely. For the story what I just said regarding a young lady, thank you, Sexy San Fernando. Alan Charles, in a post, he said, shout out to this amazing young lady who shows us yet again that Trinidad and Tobago is filled with good people. A few weeks ago, I lost one of my cameras in the Berlandra Beach area. The young lady found it during her work shift and very intelligently looked through the footage to see who it was. She saw myself with some other locals from the area on the video and contacted them to reach out to me to return the camera.
Mm-hmm.
It's people like her who give me the most faith in the people of Trinidad and Tobago, sending all the love and respect. I don't have her name, but kudos to you, young lady.
Yeah, Deshaun Hamilton, that's the young man's name. Terrence David and Deshaun Hamilton. Those were the young men who aided in the rescue of that driver. They haven't identified who the driver was, though. I didn't see it. But his car eventually burst into flames. Could you imagine if? Oh, anyway. So special kudos. I know it might be too late to get him on the list of awardees for this September 24th, but who knows?
You never know.
You never know.
President can make that decision.
Yeah, she can.
Very easily and add one more name to the list.
Yeah. It's certainly
because of the circumstances surrounding how he
jumped into that car, and pulled that man out. That's something you have to do spur anymore. That ought to be in you, to do that.
That has to be in you. You're absolutely right, Wendell.
Yes.
You have to be just that kind of person. You can't. You can't fake that.
No.
That has to be something that you have to be really a good person. So congratulations to what's his name? Deshaun Hamilton. I'm going to stress out my computer and get his picture up this morning because I think he deserves to be seen.
Yes, I think so too. What did I? Whilst you try to fill with that, let me just say happy birthday to a few people. Today, I actually got my birthday app back up and running. Where is it? Like it gone again. Yesterday was Deodat Ramcharan, aka Krishna, retiree from Port of Spain Corporation, and Sigler Jack was also yesterday. Today is Darren Millian. Happy birthday, Darren. I wonder where he is in the world today. Trisha Tony, Jason Springer, Marlon John is a police officer. Happy birthday, Marlon. Nicoda Atherton, she was there at the mayor's office in Port of Spain. Sule Joseph, Sule was doing a television program not too long ago. I think he's a psychologist. Renee Simpson, JC Warwick,
I went to school with Sule.
And Stanton Cooley from Tree Canal, he is also celebrating his birthday today.
I was in class with Sule in undergrad in psychology class. Always a class. Always controversial. He would say things.
Oh, Lord. Sule went to a general council meeting with a tape over his mouth at time, Sule drama,
since in university, he would do things to. He's just not a normal, typical run-of-the-mill person.
You're very right.
Yeah.
You're very right.
But very bright. Don't get me wrong. Very, very bright. Very bright.
Very bright, yes.
Very, very bright. Yeah. So.
Yeah. And to say birthdays, let me say happy birthday going out to my good friend Karen Mansing and Stephen Sedansing Jr. Happy birthday to you both. Have a great day. I see
And
Christmas List has put out a video.
Janine Thomas, just
I have
one last
that.
one.
I'll share that in a while, but I don't want to share that before I share this young man's
Oh, you put
picture.
out a video?
Yeah, that's
Janine
what
Thomas
she
from
ended.
Balize House is also celebrating her birthday. I mean, don't forget Janine. I'm sure she listens to us every morning. Happy birthday, Janine.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, listen, the amount of things happened between the last time I was on this show and today. My goodness, I couldn't keep up.
It's every day like that.
This is Deshaun.
Yep. That's the young man who went and pulled out the folks out of
So
the
congratulations to this young man
from sea lots,
who many people would like to, just based on how he looks, make judgments about him.
Mm-hmm.
Why does look so too?
Yeah, and they make judgments about you too.
Yeah. He
Just
has
based on how you
100%
look.
more here than you.
So we wanna, as the empress say, big up this young man this morning. He is certainly a gem of a person. Risk his life and save people in a burning car. And good job, young man. Very, very good job.
Yeah.
You know, and that shows a certain kind of character and mettle. You know, that you put your life at risk like that. So, Rena, you see what we're trying to do this morning? We're trying to appease.
Well,
you.
it's only good news since we come on this morning. So,
well, there's some bad news coming. So we make it.
yeah. So we start off positively.
Christmas List is back in the country, and he was detained by and interrogated by police yesterday and released. They are investigating allegations of some involvement in the financial crime. I say allegations, you know. And this is what he released after he was released.
Yes, good evening. It is Chris Must List. It's just past 11 o'clock on Thursday. I've been detained all day. Just released. You're the first ones, my close personal friends that I've reached out to. I'm exhausted. I'm mentally tired. Bogus charges again. And there's obviously not enough evidence to hold me, and that's why I'm free. So for those that believe that I'm a criminal, or some people say I'm a controversial YouTuber, man, let's get down to the basics. I film what I see, and I document reality. If you don't like reality, you're not going to like my content. But what makes me controversial, other than the charges that I continually get thrown my way here in Trinidad and Tobago? Okay, there's somebody higher up that's out to get me, because when you see my content, it has nothing to do with money laundering. Again, I'm innocent, trumped up charges. They're going to continually throw at me. And I question, should I put this video together and let the world know? And I believe, I'm a strong believer, that it would go against my character to simply sit down and shut up while I'm being taken advantage of. Trinidad and Tobago, I love you. I will continue to fight for my freedom and my right. Today is a clear example of somebody using their power to throw bullshit charges at me that will not stick. I'm not going to stick on the wall because I'm not a criminal. I don't conduct any criminal activity, period. Trinidad, I love you. Again, for the supporters, thank you, thank you, thank you. I just hope this nightmare is over. No.
You know, I hold no brief for that gentleman, right? But I still don't understand how this money laundering charge come about. Nobody has explained it.
Well, I have a proposed question. Do you think that Christopher Hughes is a subject of harassment now?
By the TTPS.
By the state? By the state?
Add that.
By the state?
Higher ups.
No, I wouldn't go to the state.
But PTTPS, okay, because you might implicate the government.
Yeah, you know where people go with it.
Yeah.
You understand?
Use higher ups.
Yeah.
Ricky Lawson.
Yeah.
You may be new here.
Unblock.
You may be new here. No, we tried it. We advised first, Wendell.
Well, that person not new. These are people who change
right. Okay,
their
but this
names.
is the first kind of infringement like that.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just advise first. You may be new here, or you may not be new here. You can proffer strong political views against anybody or views. What we will not tolerate is what you just posted. And I will have the same position if you posted that about Mrs. Prasad Bissessa.
Naturally.
Or Gary Griffith, or
anybody.
Or any individual.
Or anyone. So please refrain from that type of commentary in the chat, or you will be blocked. Okay? Please be guided accordingly.
Yeah, these are people. It's the first time that name
Let's
come up.
not bring any more attention to it, Wendell.
Yeah.
Let's just move on. I
Move
don't want to
on.
bring more attention to it, right? We've advised him.
Yeah. But Chris Hughes, Christmas list.
Oh,
Has anybody
right back,
explained how the money laundering charges came about?
No idea. I can't figure that one out at all.
What I saw is there was some thing posted on social media which I cannot independently verify. What does ZOF mean?
I tell you, just block that person and thing.
If somebody can explain what
changed the
ZOF means,
name.
we can yeah. So there was some indication which I cannot independently verify that there was information found on his devices that may have pointed in that direction. And that's all I saw posted. There was information on his device that the police would have recovered that that may point to that direction. But as he said, the fact that he was released without being charged with anything also speaks volumes.
So he wasn't charged yesterday?
But he was released, as he said in the video.
Okay.
You know, he said, I think he said he was released without being charged. And if this continues, clearly someone wants to make him uncomfortable in this country.
But I remember I questioned also to why is he coming back if he can appear virtually? I don't know that you have to be in the jurisdiction.
And maybe he wants to come back when then there's nothing wrong with that.
Okay.
There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. You know? There are people who are living and born here have been charged and move around.
Yeah.
So I mean, you know. So
well, he obviously I wanted to ask about Deshaun Hamilton. Do you think he's deserving of a national award? But I don't know which one you want to go with, because I think I wanted to stick with the good news. I wasn't gonna give Chris Hughes on all of them that kind of prominence.
But it is news.
They're clearly seeking. I know. But I think I just thought Deshaun was more deserving of our.
Well, we did highlight him.
Yeah.
The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service held a news conference yesterday where they indicated, this could be another question, that crime is not out of control in Trinidad and Tobago. This despite 7 murders in about a 48-hour period.
You know, I don't know why the TTPS comes and talks this drivel sometimes, saying drivel.
And that they're asking, as they should, for the public's assistance in solving crimes and supporting, which the public should do once it's safe to do so.
Yeah.
You know? And so, you know, they get it on social media, right?
Well, yes. And I don't know if the TTPS is aware of when they're speaking and when they talk like that in the context of what's happening in the country, if they feel that they're going to get the sympathy of people. When you say that despite the murders, because that's where they go, despite the murders, we have had a decrease in crime. No, come on. Just hush. But he said nothing. And this is a new deputy commissioner, newly appointed deputy commissioner, coming before us and saying that. So you just open yourself up to all kind of social media bashing that you're really, if you just hush it, what did I say?
Well, in the context of general criminality, and particularly in the context of the last 48 hours, and to be fair, the police can't do nothing about somebody picking up a cutlass and killing 2 siblings.
Very correct.
The police can't intervene. In most cases, the police can't intervene in that.
Right.
Right? Although there is information that the person had been a nuisance in the neighborhood for a while and threatening people.
Mm-hmm.
But you see some of those situations, particularly when it involves familial relations and close relations, the police can't do nothing about it until after the fact, unfortunately.
True. Which is where which is why the statistics, those are the statistics we want to hear. For instance, a young man was killed on Wednesday on the field at the St. James Medical Complex. I know the young man, right? As a matter of fact, on Monday, he was in Rumbox liming with some other colleagues, because a lot of those workers come and lime by Rumbox, right? They patronize Rumbox, right? He was on the field cutting grass. Two fellas drove into the compound. Now, if anybody knows St. James Medical Complex, you must pass through a security booth to go in and out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Two fellas drive into that compound, park up, watch him on the field cutting grass, and eventually one of them came out and shot him.
But they said they had a brief altercation first.
The altercation happened after he got shot. And then the other guy came and shot him. Yeah, wow. I know the details, right? This happened in full view of plenty people in there. There's security by the gate. Those fellas were still able to drive out of that compound. First, you had to go over a couple humps. You had to go through a barrier. You had to go through a steel gate. And those fellas were still able to leave that compound unhindered. If you know Western Main Road, cameras all over the place. Yet still, those fellas were able to, and you could only go left or right on the Western Main Road. You're literally driving out into traffic. Okay? Left or right. And those fellas were able to get away. Right? The St. James police station, less than 5 minutes away. Now, on the Western Main Road, if people know it, there are police vehicles up and down that main road. Right? And those fellas, the statistics I want to hear from DCP Benjamin is that we were able to track these guys, saw where they went, and we found them. But you know what they released? That is a gang killing. That's what they say. Now, a gangster working in NWRHA, right? Cutting grass on a field, a gangster lineman and walking the mountain, a gangster playing pan with renegades, just came back from touring with renegades. He's a gangster. That's how you label the boy right away. I'm tired of this place. I'm tired of the TTPS. That's what. I'm tired and fed up. They need to just do your work. Give us hope. Don't come to me and tell me there's a decrease in crime when we just had a murderous few days again. No, man, I'm tired.
One of the things I think would be productive also, not that a gang murder is any less heinous. Let me just put that out there to start. But for the police to, and you can introduce a narrative in the population, eh? If you understand effective communication, if you can introduce a different kind of reporting or narrative. If the police, for example, in that press conference yesterday, would disaggregate the numbers and say of the 400 murders, 250 were identified certainly as gang related, right? 80 were intimate partner or familial. 40 are undetermined. You understand? So people get a clearer sense as opposed to this overriding nebulous number that paints a particular picture, and they don't understand the importance of a clearer narrative to give people an understanding of what they're dealing with, because they have just not been particularly good at communication, including their commissioner. You understand? And I think clearly that there has been a decision to put people like DCP Benjamin and others out front, because Mrs. Here with Christopher, as we all know, you know, for all her acumen, is not a great communicator. And very often, as soon as she goes in front of a camera, there's something that happens. I think it's an anxiety issue that impedes her ability to communicate effectively. Good morning, Mr. Ragoobarsingh.
Morning, Rich.
Good morning, guys.
Morning.
What happened to you? Why are you an issue like that?
Morning, guys.
Yeah, I'm not feeling too well.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh,
you're not sounding too well.
Yeah.
A good doubles will pick you up. Don't worry.
I've never seen you like this.
No, I've never seen him like this either. And you have me worried now.
Yeah. This is just so uncharacteristic of you. Anyway, thank you for, despite your challenges, for coming on this morning.
Yeah.
Y'all give Richard some good energy this morning there. Right? So, the TTPS said that crime is not out of control. That could be subject of a question also. Do you agree with the police that crime is not out of control?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clearly, you know, maybe I come across too strong in my opinion sometimes.
Well,
but
then another part, and Richard and Steve and audience, another part of this perception is it's one thing to have 7 murders in just over 48 hours. It's another thing for the population to feel that they're being solved, which would give us a certain sense of comfort. You understand?
Yeah.
And that's very, very much absent. And there are also unreported murders in the last 36 hours that I didn't see make it into the news cycle. Yeah, there were murders in Malik last night and all. So
yeah,
we should open the phone lines.
I heard about that.
Guys, good morning. We should open the lines.
Yeah. Yeah.
222 talk.
And again, I think they detained someone with the chopping death of
that was 23-year-old,
right?
St. Vincent Prime Minister Ralph Gonzalez piloted a bill recently and passed it, and it was passed, making it illegal to consume alcohol during funeral processions.
Yeah, that can't work in Trinidad at all.
When the community lawyers pass it, will work. I don't know what's the point of that. People are
happened at the funeral that was alcohol related.
In St. Vincent's funeral processions.
St. Vincent's isn't one of the places they hold up the coffin and dance through the street, I think?
I don't know. They do it here too.
I've never seen it here, but I know in some of those smaller islands, you'll see them dancing with the coffin through the street and whatnot. Is it that is the problem?
I know
we put people on a chair and think to sit down and all kind of thing.
Yeah, I have no idea.
But TTPS,
what the heck?
I don't know what they could do to think, because they clearly swamped. You understand? And it sometimes feels like they give up, but they can't afford to. Because another thing about that video of the Sea-Lot thing, that we can't show because it's very obscene, and I don't know how another image hasn't come out about that, because I'm sure that wasn't the only person who filmed that incident, but that's the only one that has been making the wrongs, right? The one with the guy filming and saying what to do, and well, he was very expressive, but he was also expressive about the fact that the police park up there doing nothing, and you saw the police car in the video.
222 talk. 222-8255.
Yeah, we have some calls. And we had reports there was a murder at Eastgate Small that's yesterday too.
Eastgates.
Yeah.
Right there.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. Everybody all right?
Yeah, we can't complain. Well, we can complain when nobody listens.
Well, I experienced a little crime thing. Most of family of mine, I have seen Dante home invasion in Rima. I think it's out of control, and as Wendell says, the police need to or give us statistical thing. Right now, people traumatized, that crime affecting us. We going out, we gotta know who's going. If we go in another week, watch the time. Something have to be done. Something have to be done, and the can't be done because the man in El Salvador, Haiti, he bring down everything. So something have to be done. All of our pleasant.
Yeah, thank you.
Good morning. Hello.
Hello, good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Morning.
Yes, I want to agree with Wendell in his last comments here in terms of how can you be, well, a part of the armed services, one would assume that you have to be some level of proactivity. And I saw that people pack up there and I was like, what? And it brings me back to this question now, just digressing a little bit. The Hunters Search and Rescue Group in this country, the amount of work that they have managed to do
Correct.
in terms of finding individuals who have gone missing, be it alive or not among the living again, it just asks, you have to ask the question, is it TTPS really, really swamp Wendell? Or
Yeah,
they just hide?
I just think that sometimes they give up. And the quickest thing now to say is that it was a gang related thing or something. I mean, it's just so.
Yesterday I looked at the TTPS media briefing, and I mean, you come to a briefing and you don't have half of the information that people would want to get. So I find it quite interesting in terms of where that's concerned. I want to send condolences to the Royke family and to the entire music industry. And I think the 82 years, I think it's service, a well-fulfilled life, one could presume. And of course, if it's one instance, I think we are now poorer in terms of the passing of this legend. Quite interesting, I want to point out to you all there, that at least 3 or 4 persons who would have been under Royke would have passed before him. So I just find that this interesting in terms of how fragile life can be. Have a good morning, gentlemen.
Indeed.
Yeah,
Same to you. Have a great day.
All
the best to you.
The people he
Good.
mentored.
Yeah. Good morning.
Morning, gentlemen.
Yes,
Good morning.
I would say that the past 20 years or so, right, I haven't seen anything outside of the norm per se that about the level of crime that escalated. What has changed is that you have multiple murders with reference to the use of the type of gun that is being used, and what you have is an escalation in the psychological effect on the population in terms of the fear of crime. But I agree with Dr. Richards in that the communication from the police department need to improve, where I need to dissect in terms of the information to inform the public as to how many of those murders were associated with gang-related and how more domestic and other. That information needs to be communicated, and that is crucial in terms of the mental health of the population itself, and what efforts are being made in terms of the detection for these criminals, and what are the problems associated in the input of the judiciary, especially with persons who are repeat offenders of these level of crime. And I think that is information that needs to be disseminated to the public. So in the absence of that, it creates an environment for persons who have their particular interest to keep upon the population that escalation in fear. Right?
Yeah.
So that is something that could be put forward. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you, caller.
Sure you want to go on rest?
Hmm?
You okay to be on the show? It's okay to go on rest, you know. You don't have to be here.
Yeah, probably should.
All right?
Yeah.
Go on rest. Feel better soon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
I'll call you on the break, Richard.
I'll call you just to check up on you.
I'll call you too, Richard.
Right. Yeah, he wasn't. This is not Richard at all.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah, that's not Richard. And, you know, sometimes you just tend to take a day off and recover, you know? Recuperate. All right. Okay, we can take 2 more calls before we go into newspaper and the question.
Yeah, we got that. Good morning, caller.
Hey, morning, fellas.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, it's interesting. Although when Paul was saying about the shopping incident, although it's difficult, and I know it's difficult, but that is, I think, to me, in my head, the community. That's why community policing is very important for me. Community policing, I think, is almost like you build trust in the community, you understand who the people are, the troublemakers, the issues that are going on, and connected to social work and to the familia and everything. Yeah, there is really strong familiarity about, you could even know, and I know it have data on that, about people alcoholics who beat their wives when they get paid, and then the preventative issues. You know, when people, the mentally ill man is trip off and getting things, and they interact because they're interacting with the community. Hey, you call that he's looking like he off, and they come in and they intervene, and these things, and these are the kind of things. That's why I find, and we don't explore and have those conversations about how important community policing is, because it's almost community policing to me is social work on steroids. You know, they're not social workers, but they interact in a way that they're therapeutically thing. And that was what the UN report was talking about, or the UN or thing. And I find we need to explore it more. And I think when we explore that thing, the preventative issues that we see that could be prevented, and if we taken the commissioner who was before Griffith, when he said 60% of the murders, this cutlass wars, which is argumentative and could be resolved by mediation and all these other things. And, you know, when I went to the complaints authority meeting in Arima quite a long time ago, and you saw that a lot of the contestation was bullying by one neighbor to another neighbor with their police friends. A lot of that. 80% of the complaints was things like that. You know, jacking up my son.
Yeah.
Because them have a
We
police.
need to go to the news.
Yeah, thanks, Dean.
All
Gotta
right,
keep it short.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Wendell, you have any of the papers?
I can do the Guardian. I can do the
All right,
Guardian.
before you do the Guardian, let me let folks know that part, I was wondering why it had so much traffic in Port of Spain this morning, but part of Henry Street is closed off because a lamppost has fallen and is blocking the road. So part of Henry Street is closed off if you come in Port of Spain. Good morning.
It's Friday the 6th of September. Let's start with the Express. Where is Christmas list? Canadian YouTuber Christopher Hugh has been released after spending 12 hours in police custody. Roy Cape dies at 82. Siblings hacked to death. 24-hour gas stations at risk from crime surge. 3 killed on Icacus Beach. DCP, crime not out of control in TNT. That's DCP Junior Benjamin. And former cyclist convicted in U.S. for gun smuggling. So those are the trending stories in the Express. You want to go ahead, Wendell?
All right. The Guardian today is Friday, September 6th, 2024. 7 more killed. That's the main headline in today's Guardian. And there are pictures of murdered siblings Keston and Chanel Singh. Sister 16, brother 21 among victims. Music icon Roy Cape dies at age 82. And the picture on the front page of The Guardian is fire leaves family homeless. Una Brown and Richard Kingsley sit with their children at a relative's home in Monrepo yesterday after they lost everything when a fire destroyed their house. Abandoned school project now haven for homeless. And of course, in international news, there was a mass shooting in Georgia. All right. Also in sports, TKR lost to the Antigua Barbuda Falcons last evening in Antigua. All right. So those are trending news in today's Guardian.
Let's move to the Express. Now, music icon Roy Cape dies at 82. Tutor inspect labs at St. George's College. Christmas disarrested again. Police murders at 5-year low in 7 of 10 divisions. Former Olympic TNT cyclist given 7-year prison term in the U.S. Murdered hospital worker loved party playing pan and rum, says his family. Wassa appoints new executive team. And Hazley Crawford Stadium to be closed from September 20th. I don't know what that means. So those are trending stories in your Express, Guardian, and Newsday for today, Friday, the 6th of September. Good morning, Vonnet Bigford.
Morning, Vonnet.
Morning, Vonnet.
All right, let's get the results of our morning poll where we asked you yesterday, should the Ministry of Finance be allocated more funds in the national budget to facilitate more comprehensive school repairs? And I was watching CC3 last night, and they did Akash Samaru he went into that abandoned school in St. Joseph. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's all I will say. Unbelievable. All right, to our poll, 78% said yes. More money should be allocated.
From the Ministry of Finance, not to the Ministry of Finance.
Should the Ministry of Finance be allocated more funds in the national budget to facilitate more comprehensive school repairs? 78 said yes.
Something doesn't read right.
All right, let's get into this morning's poll, and we got to
let's try to do good news now. Forget that TTPS and that Christmas list now. Let's do this, Sean. Richard Spirit already down. We don't need to down anymore, Spirits.
What is your suggested question, Mr.
Let's do this, Sean. Let's do the good news. The only good news that we have coming out.
So what is the question?
Is Deshaun Hamilton saving a driver from a burning car? Do you believe Deshaun Hamilton should be given a national award? Let's do that one. I can't handle Christmas list on the TTPS today, no? I want a good weekend. Richard already has a play this weekend, so he had to recover quickly. And he works very hard in that play too, a lot of madness. So you all should go and cheer him up this weekend.
Yep.
All the power
is $14 million tomorrow evening.
Yep, it's real Lotto madness this weekend too in the country.
All right, as we wait for Paul to type one finger at a time, here we go.
I can show you one finger, you know. If you would so desire.
I can show you two. Should Deshaun Hamilton be given a national award in the upcoming Republic Day celebrations? Yes or no?
And let's focus on the positive this morning.
He's the young man that he lives in Sealots. There was an accident by the traffic lights by the market. Car was on its side. It caught on fire. And he went and he pulled everybody out of the vehicle. Should Deshaun Hamilton be given a national award? Yes or no? Right. Woo, look at votes. All right. Here we go. Right, Wendell.
Yep.
Lester Craigwell says yes. Cheryl Henry, yes. Rapid Fire Entertainment, yes. CJ New York, yes. John Cato, yes. Adonna Clark, yes. Julia S. Batiste, yes. Mrs. R, yes. Von Drayton, yes. Slick Money Grip, yes. Gloria Gray, yes. Alistair Hart, yes. Richard P. Knights, yes. Hanif Daniel, thank you, Hanif. Miss Ingrid in a scorching Arizona, yes. Anderson Matthews, yes. Michael,
and good comment, Anderson. Fair comment.
Michael Gradison, yes. Thank you, Paul. Michael Gradison says, give Deshaun a national award, funding for a business or HDC house and so on. Okay. David Wares. Morning, David. And Mrs. Wares. Morning, Cheryl. David Wares says, yes, yes, yes. Kazim Mohammed. Yes. Thomas Diaz. Yes.
Did I spell his name correctly?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they had the E, but that will do. Deshaun that will do.
Aries Bourne, yes. Gregory Bauer, yes. Whew. Take this call. Morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. Kansas City, yes.
Thank you, buddy. Enjoy. Anderson Matthews, okay. Susie B, yes. Hanif Daniel, yes. How you pronounce that?
Oronde.
Timothy, yes. Anne-Marie Augustine, yes. Adonna Clark, yes. Look at messages. Gail Austin Pinder, yes to the poll.
Let's break the record for responses this morning. We're going for 100 responses this morning.
Yep. Roger T, yes. Finbar Collins, yes. Ulsan. What did she say there? Let me know, Wendell. Got the messages. Riri out in West Palm Beach, Florida. Yes. Lorna, morning, Lorna. Indy, Kali, yes. Garvin in New York City, yes. Somebody else says yes. Karen says yes. Kathy Ann in Atlanta says yes. Kenwin, yes. Anthony from Toronto, yes, definitely. Captain Ron, yes. Black Pearl, morning, Black Pearl, yes. Eddie out in Staten Island, yes. David Nelson, yes. Roger Seawing, yes. Who is this? Jaron says he should. Good morning, GNC Auto Security. Oliver Man, Warren, Sankofa, morning. Somebody says definitely yes. I don't know who that is. Okay, now let's go back to this now. What was the last one I did?
Gotta do from Joyce Lynn.
Ray. JC says yes. Helen Prescott, yes. Wayne Ramsey, yes. Ingrid Adams, yes. CJ in New York. CJ in New York is voting for Zena. I'm totally right. Yes. Ronald Pierre, yes. New Hampshire, yes. Oliver, yes. Should Deshaun Hamilton be given a national award in the upcoming Republic Day celebrations? 24 hours ago, there was an accident by the market, by Abattoir Road, the traffic lights there. A car ended up in its side and it caught fire. Deshaun Hamilton ran across the road and pulled the people out of the vehicle. Should he be given a national award? Brennan Smith, which is Beefy Smith.
I see some people in the chat would prefer that he robbed somebody and we're talking about him.
I know
you realize that, right?
I ain't
some
giving
people
them
would prefer he robbed somebody and we're talking about him as opposed to him doing a heroic deed. Yeah.
Beefy Smith. Yes.
Because that's what Sealouts people just do now, rob people now.
Yeah, so
they don't save
the fact
people.
that we're highlighting this young man's bravery is a problem for some people, apparently.
Yeah. They don't save people.
We're deluding ourselves by highlighting the bravery and the heroic action of this young man because it doesn't suit some people's narrative of Sealouts and beaten people.
I tell somebody the idea, I say, oh, you're lucky I don't use obscene, you know.
Ha! On radio? On radio?
I don't use obscene.
Really?
We wouldn't have a problem if we're talking about him rob somebody this morning. But because we're highlighting his heroic deed, it burning some people's mind.
Yeah. All right. So let's see.
I'll always call you out.
Boy. Hold on. Anderson. CJ, okay, did that. Ronald Pierre says yes.
No, you just have to call them out.
Jennings says yes. Brennan Smith, which is Beefy Smith, says yes.
Because I know where the sentiment is coming from.
Yeah.
I know exactly where the sentiment coming from.
Rapid Fire Entertainment says it have a lot of great persons in Sealouts. I myself came from Sealouts. Dave Gosine says yes. Should Deshaun Hamilton be given a national award? Yes or no? You have like 30 seconds again before AV strolls into the newsroom. Well, the studio from the newsroom. Oh boy, again, this is acting up. Okay. Let's see. Frank Edwards. Morning, Frank says yes. ER. Alan Reese says yes.
Wendell, can you send me the video? Maybe I could edit it.
What video is it?
You have the video.
I shared it on Facebook though. I don't have it as a WhatsApp video. I only have it on Facebook, but it have a lot of obscene, eh?
Well, I can edit the audio.
All right. Okay. Let me see. Somebody who has that video of the young men jumping into that car on WhatsApp, could you send it to me, please? Because there's no other video that came out of that situation except that one. I haven't seen any other one.
You know, them cameras by Silas just work and do work sometimes.
I'm sure they're not working. Because we would have seen what precipitated it, what caused the accident. Because the car ended up on its side.
And Michael Grandison, you're right.
Mm.
Why isn't that on the front page of the papers this morning?
What did I have on the front page of the papers this morning?
Hero.
How
You
about the
understand?
6 murders?
Oh, papers had a sign, you know.
Mm-hmm.
DL says yes.
What about something yesterday? Having a week of media stalwarts talking about media practice in Trinidad and Tobago for a week.
We can do that.
We should do that. Thank you, Frank. Have a great day as well. Let me just check WhatsApp quickly. I have Trevor Narima saying yes.
Yeah.
I got somebody sending me a video. Cannot watch that. Okay, Anderson. Yeah, right. I do have a number.
Say call the president, yes?
I do have a number. All right, let's get into our major news. The ever so lovely, gorgeous, sweet lady, Evie Hill Bab is in.
I'm not going to say I have a new person in his room.
I'm not going to say but we get new news either.
From Power 102 Digital.
Tributes pour in following the death of band leader Roy Cape. The suspect in the gruesome murder of siblings Kevon and Chanel Singh is now in police custody. Investigations continue into triple murders at Ikaka's Beach. Police suspect drug link. Police leadership insists that crime is not out of control despite 7 murders in 48 hours. And Canadian YouTuber Christopher Christmasless Hughes has been released from police custody. Details in a moment. This is news to 7 o'clock on Power 102 Digital. I'm Avril Cynthia Bab. Good morning. Tributes poured in from the music and culture fraternity following the death of veteran musician, band leader, and saxophonist Roy Cape. He has been battling prostate cancer for years. He was 82. Cape underwent surgery at the Sangre Grande Hospital after falling off a pavement and injuring his hip in 2019. His musical career spanned 6 decades, leading the band the Roy Cape All-Stars for more than 50 years. His band boasted soca stars Destra Garcia, Dexter Stewart Blacks, and Ricardo Drew, to name a few. He officially retired in 2017. In 2004, he was the recipient of a national award, the Hummingbird Medal Gold. In 2011, he received an honorary doctorate from the University of the West Indies. In a social media post, Cape's daughter, Joanne Cape Julian, confirmed his passing. Former Calypso monarch Kurt Allen posted on Facebook, quote, R.I.E.P. King Roy Cape Papi, we have shared great memories to last lifetimes, and I will be forever thankful for the opportunities that you provided since I was the age of 17. Walk real good, end quote. Meanwhile, Austin Super Blue Lions reacted to the news saying, quote, this is a very sad night for me. When I hear the passing of my great and loving friend, Dr. Roy Cape, this one hit me very hard. Every week, we talk and laugh about the old times. We had traveling and performing all over the world. May you rest in peace. Fly with the angels above until we meet again, end quote. The suspect in the gruesome murder of siblings Kevon and Chanel Singh is now in police custody. They were brutally hacked to death at Naji Road in New Grand on Wednesday, allegedly at the hands of a resident who had been terrorizing the neighborhood for years. The body of 16-year-old Chanel was found on the roadway with multiple chop wounds to the left side of her face. There was a blood trail from her body to a wooden house approximately 10 feet away, where the body of her brother, 21-year-old Kevon, with multiple chop wounds on the neck, was found on the couch in the porch. Police continue their investigations into the murder. Gunmen opened fire along the beachfront at Icacos Point, killing 3 men and injuring 3 Venezuelan migrants in a suspected drug-related hit early yesterday. Police have identified the victims as fisherman 36-year-old Kareem Celestin of Icacos Village, Cedras, 21-year-old Joshua Sadu of Fani Village, Point Fortin, and an unidentified man whom residents referred to as Darko. The migrants, a 15-year-old girl and a 24-year-old woman, suffered gunshots to their legs but were in stable condition, and a 45-year-old man suffered gunshot injuries to his legs and was in critical condition. According to police reports, officers from the Cedros police station responded to the shooting and saw a white Nissan Sentra B14 riddled with bullets and the driver's door open on the beach. Inside, they found Sadhu's body. Celestin's body was found behind a shed with several gunshots, including in the head. Next to him was another man who was also shot in the head and about the body. Under a shed, officers found 3 migrants suffering from gunshot injuries. A villager took them to the Point Fortin Hospital for emergency treatment. You are listening to news on Power 102 Digital to 7 o'clock. With at least 7 homicides being reported over a 24-hour period, the police leadership are still insisting that crime is not out of control in Trinidad and Tobago. The TNT Police Service is calling on citizens to work with law enforcement in reducing and solving crimes. The call was made yesterday during a news conference at the Police Administration building in Port of Spain. The Deputy Commissioner in charge of operations, Junior Benjamin, said several leads are being followed with respect to other killings in various parts of TNT. Benjamin said data shows over a 5-year period, Port of Spain, Tobago, and the Eastern Division have shown an increase in killings over the 5 years.
When we look at the crime situation, we want to assure you that the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service stands ready to deal with any situation. This is not a situation where crime is out of control. We are totally in control of the crime situation. We look at our statistics and it is clear that we have right now a minus 16% in terms of our serious crime. There are 14 different areas in that serious crime, and of the 14 areas, only 3 areas there is an increase.
Some of the measures put in place are greater involvement with community groups, schools, businesses, churches, and other stakeholders, and being proactive in policing efforts.
We would be having the community justice clinic to be more and more a part of the strategies that are taking place in the Southern Division. Already I have spoken to the divisional commander, and we have already put some strategies in place, and they're going to have more and more of the community justice clinic. We are going to be going around again, working with the victim and witness support, going into these areas and helping victims to deal with the situation there.
Canadian YouTuber Christopher Christmasless Hughes has been released from police custody after he was detained yesterday. An attorney representing Hughes' interests revealed that he was detained shortly before 10 a.m. at a house in Diego Martin and taken to the Special Investigations Unit in Port of Spain. He was being interrogated there yesterday. He released a video stating that he was released following what he described as bogus charges.
Just past 11 o'clock on Thursday, I've been detained all day. Just released. You're the first ones, my close personal friends that I've reached out to. I'm exhausted. I'm mentally tired. Bogus charges again, and there's obviously not enough evidence to hold me, and that's why I'm free. So for those that believe that I'm a criminal, or some people say I'm a controversial YouTuber, man, let's get down to the basics. I film what I see, and I document reality. If you don't like reality, you're not going to like my content. But what makes me controversial, other than the charges that I continually get thrown my way here in Trinidad and Tobago?
He said he believes that someone in authority is out to get him.
Okay, there's somebody higher up that's out to get me, because when you see my content, it has nothing to do with money laundering. Again, I'm innocent. Trumped up charges they're going to continually throw at me, and I question, should I put this video together and let the world know? And I believe, I'm a strong believer, that it would go against my character to simply sit down and shut up while I'm being taken advantage of. Trinidad and Tobago, I love you. I will continue to fight for my freedom and my right. Today is a clear example of somebody using their power to throw charges at me that will not stick. I'm not going to stick on the wall because I'm not a criminal.
Earlier this year, he was charged with sedition following the release of videos showing men in the country who professed to be in gangs. Well, finally, here's weather news for the period today till midnight. Trinidad and Tobago, Hot and sunny conditions will be interrupted by a few partly cloudy spells with isolated showers. There is a low chance of isolated heavy showers or thunderstorms favoring, but not limited to, western areas. Nighttime mostly fair despite isolated showers. Please note gusty winds and street or flash flooding may occur in or near heavy showers or thunderstorms. Expect a temperature high of 34 degrees Celsius at Piarco International Airport and 33 degrees Celsius at Crown Point in Tobago. Currently, it's 26 degrees Celsius at Piarco and 28 at Crown Point. Recapping your headlines at 7 o'clock, tributes pour in following the death of band leader Roy Cape. The suspect in the gruesome murder of siblings Kevon and Chanel Singh is now in police custody. Investigations continue into triple murders at Ikakas Beach. Police suspect drug link. Police leadership insists that crime is not out of control despite 7 murders in 48 hours, and Canadian YouTuber Christopher Christmasless Hughes has been detained again by the police, or has been released after being detained by police. I'm Avril Sindhil-Bab. That was News 2, 7 o'clock on Power 102 Digital. Look out for more news in detail at 12 noon and an update at 8 o'clock this morning. For more details, log on to power102fm.com.
Up to date and credible. Power 102 Digital.
All right. Thank you ever so gorgeous, Evie. Thank you. Can't wait to see you again at 8 o'clock for our news brief.
All right. What if you do? If you bring doubles or something?
Ah, boy. If you only knew. If you only knew.
That's so heavy.
See, be careful, you know, she's just watching and shove you, just saying.
I know. Anyway, traffic-wise, yeah, everywhere. That's all I'll say. Let's see if we have any more votes. We do indeed. Let's see. I think Sexy San Fernando. Yep, she said yes. Let's see. Kenny out in Harlem says yes.
So this is the video here.
Shawinku says yes. Wayne Bennett, yes. Esther Adams, yes. Right. And on WhatsApp, we have somebody say, good morning, guys. Junior says yes. All right. Okay. So the video we're playing that you can watch, which just caught my eye, is that the police vehicle is there. And let me not say it.
So there is a bunch of folks, apparently CPEP workers, who went across.
Why the police car across the road sitting in the car?
And the 2 young men are, in fact, Terrence David and Deshaun Hamilton, right, who featured in that.
Terrence David. Good morning to you, Terrence David.
Mm-hmm. If they was going in and rob the man, front page, you know, viral.
Front page. Am I lying? Are we lying? Before you put, as Paul said, hero.
Anyway, let's focus on.
Look, the guys come out of the car. Yeah. And now I saw another part, and look, they're carrying the guy.
Mm-hmm.
And now that when that fire was extremely high, and they carried him out.
Thanks to the folks who sent the video to me, Stephen and Jaron. Thank you very much. And thank you, Charmaine, for your call. And DL, I did try to reach out to Richard, but
Marcia Rock says yes.
I don't think he have money on his phone. I think that's what have him a little depressed. He may not have money on his phone. So
you put Marcia Rock saying yes. Let's get the result. Yes,
but the best way to cheer up Richard is to go out to theater this weekend and watch Lotto Madness. Because trust me, he will change by then. He has a lot of he works very hard in that play too, right? So go out and cheer him up this weekend. And when you clap loud and say, hey, Richie, Power 102 listeners, all right? All 68 of the votes I counted, and I'm sure there were more, said yes this morning. All 68. So thank you very much, you loyal fans of Power 102. We didn't bring this thing to politics or to any divisiveness at all. We all supported what clearly was some good news that we all needed. Trust me, we all needed it.
Let's
And
play
it
that
came-
video back, Paul. Let's play it back so the folks will play it back so you can see what's going on.
Yeah, you could watch
This
it
is the young man. So this is the Sea Lots traffic lights by the walk over there. There was an accident, cars on its side. That was 24 hours ago. Right? If you look, there's a police car in the background.
And
Flashing
you
light.
should hear what the guy was saying about the police there.
I heard it. You can't play it, but I heard it. And here comes Super Sean to the rescue. What's the other guy's name? Terrence. Wendell.
Terrence David and Deshaun Henry.
Terrence David. They run to the vehicle. There it is. Watch it. Police car just pull off. I don't know what they do in the barracks. They hate when I say that though. But it's true. Newspaper a headline should have said, "Heroes among us." There comes another chap. Doors open. Pull out the guys. Look at them. Pull out whoever was in that vehicle. 2 of them. And then the runner took the guys. Run across the road away from the vehicle. So our poll was, should Deshaun Hamilton and Terrence David be given national awards in the upcoming Republic Day celebrations? Our question will stay up on our mobile app and our website for the entire weekend. And Monday we'll give you the full results.
Yeah, morning, Captain Ron. And anyone who wants the video, I can send it to them via WhatsApp if you have my WhatsApp number. So quite a few people are also requesting it because I didn't get it on WhatsApp before this morning. You know, it was a Facebook video prior, and as I say, I've seen no other video of that incident since, and no overhead footage to show what actually caused that accident. You know, I've not seen anything like that.
But thank goodness.
But all's well that ends
Wasn't
well.
fatal.
Yep.
Wasn't fatal. Was not. And you know, listening to the news just now with AV, with the police saying that they have crime under control. AV and myself sat down here and we said we counted 8 people that were killed in 48 hours. 8. I'm just saying. 18 minutes after the hour is 7 o'clock, of course.
I have a good friend, guys, who's an ardent fan of this Power Breakfast show, who is off to Uganda and Ethiopia. Talk about jealous. I'm jealous, but I'm feeling it all in my bones. I say, oh Lord, I could have been on that trip.
And pull out the credit card.
Uganda and Ethiopia. I'm so waiting to see pictures of Uganda and Ethiopia. Captain Ron, a friend of mine, is heading to Ethiopia. If you want, you could send me any contacts for you. I know you have a home in Ethiopia.
Captain Ron, put him on the jump seat.
You know, but I can't wait to visit those places too. Both Uganda and Ethiopia. I have every intention of visiting. God spare my life. Let me make sure and say that. Because these days you see what's going on.
Of course, breaking news overnight. Pappy Roy Cape passed away at the age of 82. So condolences to his family. Let me call up some people. Give me a minute.
Yeah. Who asked me that? Okay, Charmaine. All right, yes. Oh, okay. Oh, all right. I'm now getting a couple details on the accident itself. You know, it might have been someone who broke a light, you know, in that area.
Still, whatever the cause for those, you know, Trish.
All right. Of course, we got wind of, somebody sent me a very interesting story about a young man who's leaving Trinidad and Tobago after 10 years. I don't 10 years or what, I'm not sure. I haven't read the article yet, but there are several stories, of course, coming around like this for young businessmen in particular. And I don't know if people know, Europe, Africa, Asia is so vast and so opportunistic. But people are, I met someone the other day. I was talking to a guy the other day. He's well into his 40s, he might be near 50. He has not even gone to Tobago. I say, how is that possible? No. And he has a passport with a US visa and has not even gone to Tobago. I said, no, you need to fix that. People need to go out there and see the world and experience this world. Because I'm sure a lot of the haters we have in Trinidad and Tobago today are people who've never traveled anywhere and probably don't even Google anything to see what it looks like. You understand? When you go out there, you get a completely different mindset, regardless of where you're going. You get an appreciation. First of all, if you're going to the Caribbean, you get a greater appreciation for Trinidad and Tobago and where we are and the development that has taken place in Trinidad and Tobago. Go any of the other Caribbean island, anyone, and you'll see how special Trinidad and Tobago is. And then go abroad and you'll realize that the hate and the divisiveness that we practice here and we live here, it don't exist out there. At least if you no, let me take that back. It does exist, but you'll never know. Because if you don't like people, if you don't like black people, if you don't like white people, if you don't like Asian people, if you don't like African people, don't go abroad. If you don't like fat people, if you don't like thin people, if you don't like red people, if you don't like brown skin, don't go abroad. If you don't like lesbians, if you don't like gays, if you don't like people who rather go by any kind of other gender, don't travel, don't go. Because all of those people out there. And they are some of the nicest people you'll ever meet. Don't go. Stay here and be what do they call it? A keyboard warrior. Don't travel, don't go nowhere. Because some of you are very good at being keyboard warriors.
Anyway, gentlemen, I do have Fian online. Good morning to you, Fian. How are you?
Good morning, everybody. I'm fine, thank you.
We have your good Watless friend with me, Paul Richards.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Don't worry. And we have Wendell with us this morning. I thought I'd call you regarding the passing of Roy Cape and your fondest memories of him.
Well, a lot of people may not know. I've known Mr. Cape since I was literally a baby, because my mom sang in the tent, my dad sang in the tent, and from a baby I was exposed to the likes of him and the band and everything, and remember back in the day too, they backed super heavily, like every Soca Monarch and all these things. They were like a staple in our little circle, meaning when I came for Carnival to see Dad and all of that. So it's not just me from a singing perspective, it's me from a growing up as a young, really, really young person perspective, having been exposed to him and his creativity from a kid, and then actually getting to work with him and the band as an adult, singing and doing music professionally. It's really surreal, It's really surreal.
Would you have ever had the opportunity to perform with the Roy Cape All Stars, Fian?
Yes, 100%. I mean, early on in my career, when they had a female singer that I was actually kind of helping to mentor with her stage performance and stuff like that, and I would go to the band room and do rehearsals with them and give pointers and whatnot. So yeah, I've actually had very, very close interaction with the band and its members. I mean, from, like I said, from teenager. If you look back at Soca Monarch back in the year Super sang Kim Sabini. I was one of the angels. I think I was like about 14 years old or something like that. You know, I played one of the angels on stage, and Roy Cape and the likes of Big Mike and all of them. There was a ecosystem of people, musicians wise, creative wise, that was around him. So I was exposed to them as well.
What type of band leader Roy Cape was? Because I mean, we've known Roy Cape and we've never seen him. We've never seen him angry. Was he ever?
What was your in the background?
Had to raise his voice at anybody?
I could tell you, he's the type of person that when he speaks, you have to lean in. So I've never seen him angry. I wouldn't say that he'd never got, just to put that clear. I've never seen him angry. I've never been in his presence when he was upset. I've been in, I saw him annoyed at stuff. Like, you know, he would make, you know, comments about something that was disturbing his peace or whatever. But to say he was like an angry, quarreling, fussy person, and I've known him since before singing, and I've never seen that side of him.
Good morning, Mrs. Alvarez.
It's always good.
Who would you call him Mrs. Alvarez? He vexed at you.
No, she's Mrs. Alvarez. Good morning, Mrs. Alvarez.
Oh, hi, Senator. How are you?
That's how we exchange, you know.
Well, let me take my mic off.
First of all, condolences to you, because you were close to Papi, and you, as you said, you knew him since you were a child. What would you say is the best advice, or what you learned from him most over the years?
I think it's twofold. When you, and not just this, does not just go for him. This goes for all the artists that we've lost: the Shadows, the Explainers, Kitcheners, etc. I think we as musicians have come to realize we're heavily celebrated when we die. And the sad reality is, it does not matter how many people pass away, that particular method of addressing the artists, the talent, the creative people has not and does not seem to change. And I say this because I look at the outpouring of condolences and support, and I remember when Blacks was alive, and he would also say, you know, you get more love when something happens to you as opposed to when you put out music or you do something creative or something like that. And I think the energy is the same. I mean, the reasoning behind the outpouring of messages and stuff is different, but the energy is the same. And I don't think people see how difficult it is for an artist to spend life, limb, and health, and sometimes you sacrifice birthdays and anniversaries to put your country first, literally. People think it's money, and it's, trust me, for 90% of these talents, it's not just the money. It's they take pride in knowing that when they step on a platform internationally, they could take something that represents where they're from and show it to the world and have the world say, yeah, we like that. So that's one aspect. The other aspect is sometimes you have to understand only the great ones get old, you know? And this just puts in perspective getting old with the right things in place is a blessing. When you get old and you have a family structure, people that can take care of you, friends that will check on you and all of that, and make sure that you're okay so that you can live out your old age as best as possible. Because the lights will die, the promoters will stop call, the fans will get old and they will move on to something else and have their own families and they will grow up. And you will keep going, and you have to bear in mind that should you be so blessed and so successful in life to reach an old age, you want to do that with people around you that care and check for you and would look out for you. And too many artists don't pay attention to that until it's too late. So I guess it's basically be careful what you sacrifice in pursuit of fame and success.
Unfortunately for Papi, he was recognized with a National Award Hummingbird Gold, and also given an honorary doctorate by UE, and was lauded while he was alive. How do you think his musicianship changed the band scene in Trinidad and Tobago? Because I remember at several events over decades that was the band to beat in terms of the sound of the band.
Oh yeah, they had the thing is, we still keep part of Papi's original legacy in terms of we are one of the few bands that keep live brass, which, as you know, Roy Cape was, when you say brass, you say Roy Cape. When you say Roy Cape, you say brass. They had one of the best playing, functioning brass section that you could even put together. So our band still maintains that, because remember, we grew up under the tutelage of Roy Cape and the All Stars, and how they did stuff, and what was a band, and that type of thing. So for us, we still have live brass, which, I mean, technology is changing where you don't really need it. But for us, it's just us holding on to the original teachings of the greats like Roy Cape, and then you had, of course, Chandelier and all those other bands in the past that also had live brass. But today, Roy Cape, which is the All Stars now, they still have live brass, and we've kept that legacy of keeping that live brass as well.
Freyan, is what do you think? How do you think Papi would want to be remembered?
I think he would want the industry to be something that changes for the better. I mean, we're making really great strides. I'm seeing a lot of young people coming in, and they're learning. The only issue is, I think a lot of the younger people are not learning the history. They're learning the industry, but they're not learning the history of the industry. And why that is important is because, one, we could have mistakes be remade because you didn't learn. Two, it kind of gives you a gauge as to what was really put into the industry, so you kind of appreciate it more, and you're not coming into it just for the social media hype and the TikToks and all of that. You're coming into it because you understand that there were men and women in the past that didn't get to benefit from something that they put sweat and tears and energy into, that you can benefit. If you look at the lifestyle the younger artists are living now compared to the older artists, it's like two totally different type of lifestyle. If you look at, yes, we're giving them doctorates and we're giving them, these hummingbirds and the medals and all of that, which is great. But again, their awards, the quality of life some of the artists have, and it's not because they did anything wrong or anything. It's just that the era, the time. Like, I could give you an example. Years ago, you did not get a promoter to buy a plane ticket for you to fly. You literally had to fly. And I could tell you, the All Stars was one of the bands. They would fly to Canada for a month and have to stay there to work, because it was difficult to get promoters to fly you back to Trinidad and fly you back up and fly you back again. Now, we have the luxury of being flown almost anywhere in the world. And depending on the type of artist you are, you fly first class. So it's not that the older artists didn't do what they were supposed to do. It was just a different time and a different understanding. And the business aspect of how we operate as musicians was not that much of a focus, unless you were very, very lucky to get a manager or a team that really cared about your futuristic settlement in terms of how you live when you get older. It wasn't about that for them. It was about the art and just love of country and love of culture, and really bringing things to the table that they could do for next day and then the next day and the next day. It wasn't about the business structure of things. So I think that is one of the aspects that you could, we will all be futuristically older artists, just like the ones that we see are leaving us now. So I think for us, this is a good eye opener for us to understand. You could win all the awards in your life. At the end of the day, there's no better award than a peace of mind and a comfortable living situation when you get older.
Freyan, I enjoy looking at you and listening to you on stage, but I thoroughly enjoyed listening to you this morning. I have to tell you, this is a side of you that I didn't know and I've never met, and I thoroughly enjoyed listening to you this morning.
Wendell?
appreciated greatly.
And that's why I started by calling her Mrs. Alvarez. This is the kind of conversations Fayan, they don't know. People really don't know Fayan.
No, they don't.
No, but I did.
Paul and I banter all the time.
This is the kind of conversations that Fayan and I have, because very often people think it's about running on a stage and making money. And Fayan has always thought about the industry.
Yes.
As opposed to herself and her husband and her family alone. And most people don't know that.
But she made it very
and
clear.
because she's very strong in that, people don't understand, and she's yelling straight. But I admire the fact that she always puts the art form and the industry first.
You see, when somebody could go through an entire conversation without saying and and I just I sat there and all listening to you, Fayan. I have to tell you that.
I appreciate that greatly. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much.
Thank you so much, Fayan.
When will I in?
Yeah, when will I in?
You said the word. You said the word, Paul.
Oh, just Paul? If I tell I'm with you, look at your itinerary and see what country you're in.
I have no problem saying the word, because I hear Paul is pay for all. So I'll be like,
every now and then he just surprise you with a hot chocolate. I don't know if I'll get one today.
So come on, I can all of that. Thank you very much for talking to us, and please tell your husband and the family hello first.
And blessings to the family. Stay safe.
Thank you, you too.
All right. That's, of course, that is.
I have to admit, that's a side of fear, and I've never heard it. I'll be brutally honest.
But if you know her, because we have conversations all the time about, we bounce ideas off each other all the time. That is who she is. When the stage side is a persona, she's a very serious-minded, intelligent, focused person.
Clearly.
Her husband says, and has said on the record several times, Bungie Garden, that her intellect and her focus changed his life and direction.
Right.
And he would not be who he is today without her at his side.
Nice.
Which is a strong test. So when people talking about the nonsense about that you hear about who wear the pants in the family, that nonsense just irritates me.
But that's a pants I don't mind in my family.
They look out for each other very much. So yeah.
Nah, she is
highly intelligent.
Very articulate and very focused. And I like the fact that she is what she's proposing for other people. And you see that information that she gave just now, which probably some people know, but a lot of people maybe don't know, that bands long time and artists long time had to fund themselves and go out there and stay and not be back and forth.
Wendell,
now they can
it is
do
not
that.
long time.
Yeah.
A lot of artists would jump on a plane, pay their own ticket, even now.
Yeah.
And leave the middle of August, bunk by somebody in New York or New Jersey, and make the circuit and hope for gigs. Artists, you wouldn't even think of doing that.
Yes. That guy gave out a testimony the other day, the guy from Grenada, the guy who just go upside down and whine on people now. What's his name again? Is Killer?
Richard Ragoobarsingh?
Nah,
Trinidad Killer.
It's not Trinidad Killer. It's not Trinidad Killer. The guy who he sing something about is roly poly. What? I want a roly poly. I want a big girl.
He's another under the sobriquet of some kind of killer.
He gave a testimony the other day about how he made it and the kind of help he would have gotten eventually from people. He said he was literally sleeping on the street at one time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice interview.
All right, but let's take some of your calls.
Mr. Killer, that's his name. Mr. Killer.
Mr. Killer. Thanks, Simba. 222-8255, North Americans. I got a toll-free number for you, 866-525-1099. That's our numbers.
Yes, Finbar, Mr. Killer.
Yeah, Mr. Killer.
Yeah.
Grenada. From Grenada, yes, that's him.
The land of Jab.
I want that fat girl. I want that roly poly. I want that big girl. You know how much people I know singing this song right now?
Like Finbar Collins.
You wouldn't sing that at all.
Well, boy, at my
you like the most felt
At my age, all I do is take
Mother.
off my glasses. I just take off my glasses, you know.
But
Good
if you don't, your glasses will become fogged.
Oh Lord, save me, caller.
It's not a snorkel, it's a glasses.
Save me, caller.
You can take down Fayan's name now.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. I want to give you all two scenarios that happens in a real country. A police officer
Nemesis.
at a school. Yes?
Nemesis.
Yes?
You don't want to start by bigging up the Sean Hamilton. You don't want to start by doing that this morning.
I am proud of Hold on, Paul. Let me say Hamilton, but that is how every citizen in Trinidad and Tobago should operate. That is what I would have done. So I am proud of him that he displayed what a Trinidadian, what a human being.
Wonderful. That wasn't so hard. Wonderful. Yeah. That wasn't so hard. No, go ahead.
But what about the police and them who remain in the car and come out?
Hold on, Steve. Hold on, Wendell. You're brushing the brush. Let me talk. Right?
Oh,
there's two scenarios that happened in a real country. That happened in a real country. A police officer stood outside a school and said he was waiting for backup while an active shooter was in his school. When the dust cleared, he was out of a job for neglecting of his duty, dereliction of duty, because his duty is to save lives and protect lives. Another one in a shootout somewhere, I don't remember the state, but there was an active shooter somewhere, and he hid behind a wall for fear of his life. The same thing I like to say, he was fearful for his life, and he stood behind a wall and did not respond. He thought he should have responded. And he lost his job. But in Trinidad and Tobago, two police. I thought for the car was the vehicle.
Well, Nemesis, I said it yesterday. There was an accident in Miami. They went across by a police vehicle, told the officer. He did nothing. He went the opposite direction, and he was fired immediately.
I didn't know about that.
That was this week.
But I'm glad you could.
That was Wednesday, I believe.
You're slipping up, Nemesis. You missed that one?
I missed that one. But in Trinidad and Tobago, I'm sure the response is going to be, well, we don't know the vehicle number, we don't know who it is, and the tag, and whatnot, and whatnot. You understand? Steve, you gave a scenario already on this right here at the station, where a vehicle was on fire on the highway, and a police vehicle was heading in the other.
Oh yes, by Trin City. I actually witnessed that.
You witnessed that?
That's right. I forgot about that.
And I must have confidence in the police service.
Again, citizens came out and helped the people. The police car passed in the other lane, opposite lane, and continued driving.
But look at that, Nemesis, before you go. Lincoln, before you go, look at that story you shared with me the other day, and I clean forget to bring it up when I came on radio on Monday. The story where two citizens were filming an episode at Baraka Grounds within Chanishmel, and they were arrested, and they were compensated, I think $90,000 each.
$90,000 each.
Yeah, because they were filming the police in the execution of their duty, and the police thought, I think a senior superintendent, I don't know if it's his rank, Richard Smith, who charged them, find that they were coming too close to him with the phone. Listen, when I read stories like that, I get so upset. The TTPS really don't know what they're doing. No? They really don't know what they're doing. No?
They're clueless. Clueless. But I leave it there. Gentlemen, have a good day, because I don't want people to feel hating on the police. Have a good day.
What? We would never say that.
And you know what's upsetting? I know several police officers. I know real police officers who just work real hard and who just go out of the way. And they have to be consumed with this malady called the TTPS. They're consumed by it.
Yeah. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
First, I want to say condolences to Roy Cape and his family.
Mm-hmm.
Second, that act of bravery by Deshaun Hamilton,
Terrence Brown,
it was unbelievable. I was only praying that vehicle don't explode. You know. So
let me ask. Hold on. Anybody have a number for Deshaun Hamilton can WhatsApp it to us.
You could call,
318-1021. 318-1021. If everybody have a number for him.
Maybe, I don't know if you all have Shoma Wilson's. No, that is Silla. Where it happened? Silla. Anyway, I don't know.
But go
Shoma
ahead.
Wilson might be able to help you. Anyway, who he, to get in contact with him, because I personally going to put down his name as a nominee for an award. So I must congratulate him on his bravery. I
and all the other young men who went there.
Officer Benjamin, and he is telling us they have crime under control. Really? No.
I don't know what rock they're living under.
Because remember, I told you all there was a roadblock in the Diego Martin. I think it could have been the coming into Diego Martin. So it was almost on the main. Well, anyway, roadblock in Diego Martin, and this green vehicle drove through the roadblock. The police had to dive for cover. And up to now, I haven't heard that vehicle was intercepted. I mean, come on. And you are saying, this situation in St. James, that vehicle could have gone two ways. It could have made a U-turn and head west, or it could have gone up George Cabral, because I'm sure, I think they're so brave to drive down Western Main Road in front of the police station, because the police station is 2 blocks away. So I don't understand how that vehicle was not intercepted. Come on. I think why it is the helicopters haven't been brought out. Because these things are the reasons for the helicopter to come out and see if they could look. I don't know now. Lord Father.
Thanks, Diego Martin.
God could help us right
All righty.
Have a blessed weekend.
Did you all see the video where the Aqua knocked down a guy and continued driving?
Yes.
I have not heard anything from the TTPS regarding that. PDU 7233.
Yeah.
Ben.
Black Aqua.
Put a guy merrily riding on his bicycle, riding in the correct side of the road. Stop. Hit the guy.
That's crazy. Yeah, people doing anything now. And
I sent it for Wayne Meister. He said thanks. Good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Captain Ron, you're wide awake this morning.
Oh, yeah. I'm over now in I think it's North Carolina. So, listen, first of all, I want to say congratulations to that young gentleman there. Also, condolences to the passing of the musician and the 2 kids that got killed. And I think we should consider also, I don't know how old the guy is, Mr. Deshaun. They should look into giving him a scholarship in whatever aspirations he has. He'd like to do, and consider that, send him away. And I love how you all brought up that attention, Mr. Paul. You said people have these kind of remarks to make because of where he's from. But you remember the Lord, people were saying, what good comes out of Nazareth as well? So let them keep running them out. And it's time we hear positive things like this, especially on a Friday. Instead of all week we be hearing this one got hurt and that one killed and crime. It's time we hear positive things with young people and to bring it to light. I really think that you all should, the government should consider giving him a scholarship and with other things, and whatever other things other people from different parts of the society would like to contribute to kind of give other young people a lot of encouragement. But the police officers, my father was a police officer, and I think what's lacking, I don't blame the police officer, I blame the police department. They need to start doing a CRM course every year for each and every officer, like what they do to us. They give us from flight attendants to pilots to people in operation. They give us CRM courses every year, once a year. And your duty is not just flying the airplane. I could be outside the airplane in the terminal. I see something there that needs to be done. Get it done. That's it. So they need the CRM, not just give you a gun and give you a badge and say you're a police officer. You need to, do the CRM and bring up different scenarios. Because from what you guys are saying, I still can't believe something is happening to police officers passing on the other side. Never even stop. Right? The same. That's what Nemesis was talking about, where the police was hiding. And he didn't want. That was right in Florida. In Florida, where the guy killed so many people in the school. You know, so they need CRM courses, and the police department is the one to be blamed, not the police officers, the police department. And after that CRM course has been done, then you blame the police officer for not carrying out his duty. Gentlemen, have a good weekend and be safe.
Thanks,
Thank
buddy.
you, Captain Ron.
Bye,
Take care.
safe.
Have a good weekend yourself.
Okay, thank you.
All righty.
You'll see me in Ethiopia someday.
Well, we didn't ask him what he jump seat. Good morning.
Hey, morning. You can.
Morning, Mr. P.
Morning, Mr. Patrick.
I want to publicly say thanks to Papi Boy, Mr. Roy Keep. I enjoy Roy Keep music for years. When I used to go party earlier. Years. What I like about him, he was always consistent. He was a music man, he was a saxophonist, he was a leader of a band for years, and he was consistent. I want to thank him for giving his service, the trainer and the wider world, and thank his family for supporting him and to be there with him. So we miss a good one earlier.
Yes.
Miss a good one.
Yeah.
But now, I want to find out something. I thought I had a recall to all police officers who was on holidays and vocational learning. Because they said they should have a police, they should have a car, they should have everything.
When they recall police officers, when police officers go on leave, I don't know that they could, you know. They say that, but I don't think that they actually do it. You know?
Really?
They might stop you if you're about to go on leave, but if you're already on leave, I don't know that they can make you come back out, you know.
Every country that crisis and they say there are no boots on the ground. Huh? I don't know if this is on vocational holiday. All of them are going to go back out.
Well, leave me now. I don't want Chris to say or none of them message me to say I told you know anything this morning. Leave me now.
Right. I hear police and vocation and doing all kind of private work all about.
And as we talking musicians,
thanks, Mr. Patrick.
the funeral of Robert Dolly, aka Bobby, will be on Monday. Okay. Where are those details? I sent it for Jerry Nares yesterday. No longer I chat with Jerry Nares. I had a nice little chat with him yesterday. His funeral is Monday. Where is it? Look at here. Right. Funeral detail Monday, 9th September, 2:30 p.m. at the Malabar Community Center, Phase 4, and a repast will follow. All right. That's Robert Dolly, who passed away over the last few days. His funeral is on Monday, 9th September. He was a very hard worker. He was also into music and so on. So he would have known Papi and so on.
Yeah. Good morning.
Morning again. I listened to the words of Captain Ron, and I'm thinking that is such a wonderful idea. If the business community in that area, the tile place, there's a tile place in that area, call these young men and give them a 10,000 each. Ragoobarsingh, give them a 10,000 each. I think that will help them more than any medal of honor, right? If they're unemployed,
you want a tire shop to give out $10,000, Lincoln?
A tire shop?
That way is it?
No. I said the business in that area, Ragoobarsingh, the tile company. There's a big tile.
Okay.
Rothman.
Tile.
I thought you said
tire.
tire.
There's a huge, there's a lot of businesses in that area that could support these men and help them in a more tangible way than a medal, right? If they're unemployed, I'm sure Ragoobarsingh could get them a job. This one could get them a job once they meet the requirements of what. As Captain Ron said, if they have any goals in terms of a particular course, they could be helped in that training in that field or something. But good deeds must be sustainably rewarded and visibly rewarded. So if only to motivate others to do better, right? A medal doesn't do anything if them fellas and them hungry when the day come. You understand?
Yeah. I think to the credit of Ragoobarsingh and even Rahman, they do a lot of work. They do a lot of work in those areas, eh?
They do.
Quietly, yeah.
They do. You won't hear about it, but they do a lot of stuff.
Yeah, they do a lot of things for people in that area.
Yeah.
And waste disposal. I think waste disposal is in the back there too.
Yeah.
They've been doing a lot of work in those communities for the people and so on.
Furnace.
Yeah.
All right. A lot of messages coming through this morning. All right. Don't forget to vote on our morning poll. It's on our mobile app and on our website. You can go check it out. Visit our website. Check it out. I was trying to get a hold of Destra Garcia and a couple other people, but everybody's still sleeping.
Well, don't forget to Lotto Madness is taking place. Is it at Napa this weekend?
It's at Queen's Hall.
Queen's Hall, Lotto Madness.
It's Saturday and Sunday.
Saturday and Sunday, yeah. At Queen's Hall. Buy your tickets at all the usual outlets and, of course, at the box office. And go out and cheer up Richard this weekend, right?
Yeah.
Go and cheer him up.
Somebody
Make
said he's
noise and say you're in the house because you're from the Power Breakfast Show, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you have a lot to laugh at in that play, eh? Trust me.
And Lotto is 14 million to tomorrow draw. Right, Paul?
Ooh,
Paul just went silent.
I'll still do radio, guys.
You want
I just
Richard
want to let
as
you all know, right?
What's that?
I'll still do radio.
Oh, if you win the Lotto?
Yeah.
Mm.
I might buy the radio station.
What else you'll do?
Well,
I don't even want to know.
Unspeakable things with that 14 million.
What I tell you. Exactly what I told you.
Things unspeakable. But
All
trust
right.
me, a lot of people are going to be wearing some broad smile on their face when I'm done. They just have a glow.
You're going to Amazon to order toys?
Oh, I'm going all over. Ethiopia, Amsterdam, Uganda, Scotland. I'm going back everywhere I went and more. Hong Kong, China.
You're going back
Singapore.
everywhere you went?
I'm going back Singapore in particular.
You're going back everywhere you went before?
Well, no.
I didn't think so. I didn't think that was an accurate statement. I'm just making sure that you're accurate in your...
I might go back everywhere I went, but not with everybody I went with.
Okay, well, then you've clarified it.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, let's wrap up our week.
Once and for all.
Let's wrap up this week.
Well, I've never told you about my
This week
experience in
of
Singapore.
September.
Singapore, I was solicited, you know. I could have been a Singaporean all now, you know.
You were solicited by whom?
In Singapore, by a young lady.
She wanted to keep you there?
Yeah. And then my wife walked in.
She walked in?
Well, I was in a restaurant. We were in a bar.
Oh, okay, all right. It makes sense.
Don't go there, Paul. Don't go there.
Starting to get a colorful imagination.
Say bye-bye until next week.
Thailand is on my bucket list too.
First of all, once again, condolences to the family, friends, and colleagues of Dr. Roy Cape.
I want to send Clint back Ghana. Clint, I'll sponsor you back to
Richard
Ghana.
Ragoobarsingh, get well soon. You can join him on stage this weekend. And you all have a wonderful and safe weekend.
Yeah, folks, have an absolutely fantastic weekend. Be careful on the roads. Look out for the young ones. And remember to let go and let God. Bye-bye.
All right, folks. Do have a great weekend as well. Of course, you can check out the Pet Butler this afternoon. Yeah, when Dr. Gooding will be in just after 2 o'clock today. That's our resident vet at the Pet Butler on Elsco Road and Moran Street. Check us out. We don't sell pets. We have supplies only. And you can pick up your lotto ticket one time for tomorrow's $14 million jackpot draw. All right, let's get into our 8 o'clock news brief. The ever so sweetness is in.
This is your news bulletin from Power 102 Digital.
It is time for your news update to 8 o'clock. I'm Afril Cynthia Bab. Good morning. Tributes poured in from the music and culture fraternity following the death of veteran musician, band leader, and saxophonist Roy Cape. He had been battling prostate cancer for years. He was 82. Cape underwent surgery at the Sangre Grande Hospital after falling off a pavement and injuring his hip in 2019. His musical career spanned 6 decades, leading the band the Roy Cape All-Stars for more than 50 years. His band boasted soca stars Destra Garcia, Dexter Stewart, Blacks, and Ricardo Drew, to name a few. He officially retired in 2017. Faye Lyons Alvarez, who shared a personal relationship with Roy Cape, remembered him fondly this morning while speaking on the Power Breakfast Show. She said that she knew him since she was a baby. Her mother and father both sang in tents, and she was exposed to music and culture from a very young age. She said having been exposed to Roy Cape and his creativity from young and getting the chance to work with him was amazing. She disclosed earlier on in her career she mentored a female singer with the band, and she had the opportunity to go to the band room and interact with Roy Cape. She said she never saw him angry or been in his presence when he was upset. She revealed that she had seen him annoyed, but he was never a person who would give in to anger. She lamented the fact that musicians are heavily celebrated when they die, but they do not receive as much love when they're still on earth with us. Gunmen opened fire along the beachfront at Icacos Point, killing 3 men and injuring 3 Venezuelan migrants in a suspected drug-related hit early yesterday. Police have identified the victims as fishermen 36-year-old Kareem Celestin of Icacos Village Cedras, 21-year-old Joshua Sadu of Fanny Village Point Fortin, and an unidentified man whom residents referred to as Darko. The migrants, a 15-year-old girl and 24-year-old woman, suffered gunshots to their legs but were in stable condition, and 45-year-old man suffered gunshot injuries to his leg and was listed in critical condition. And Canadian YouTuber Christopher Christmasless Hughes has been released from police custody after he was detained yesterday. An attorney representing Hughes' interests revealed that he was detained shortly before 10 a.m. at a house in Diego Martin and taken to the Special Investigations Unit in Port of Spain. He was being interrogated there yesterday. He released a video stating that he was released following what he described as bogus charges. Well, that was your update to 8 o'clock. Look out for news in full at 12 noon.
Up to date and credible. Power 102 Digital.
I believe that without legislation in Trinidad and Tobago, pretty much nothing gets done. And when it comes to people with disabilities, legislation will assist in by way of education and especially employment.